been spinning out for time, couple women by my side. I got sinning on my mind, sipping on red wine. I've been sitting here for ages, ripping out the pages. How'd I get so faded? How'd I get so faded? Oh, no, no, don't leave me lonely now. If you love me, how'd you never love? Ooh, color crimson in my eyes, one or two could free my mind. This is how it ends. I feel the chemicals burn in my bloodstream, fading out again. I feel the chemicals burn in my bloodstream.
First thing that you want to talk about is balance. First problem that anybody has when they first get on skates is balance. So this is why we're on the grass for this section. The grass allows you to stay put and not move so much. You can move around and still feel comfortable. So, the first thing we need to talk about is stance. The ready stance is what it's called, or most commonly known as the ready stance. What that is feet shoulder width apart, not too wide, not too close. See, that's already uncomfortable. You want shoulder width apart, slightly angled for people with, I think that it's called duck feet, or straight. It's better to have it slightly angled though, because when it's slightly angled, you have more traction. If it's straight, then the wheel's going to have a tendency to go straight. So, feet shoulder width apart, slightly angled, and then you want to slightly bend your knees. And as you bend your knees, your shins will touch up against the tongue of your skates. So as you bend your knees, your shins should touch the tongue of your skate. And then you want to raise your hands to about belly button height or waist height. And you want your palms to be facing the floor. And you want this to feel comfortable. This is what's called the ready stance. If you fall, you're ready to fall. As you can see, when you first begin the ready stance, there is a space between the tongue of your skate and your shin. As your knees starts to bend, the space between the tongue and your shin decreases, like so. You do not want to be able to fit your finger in there. It should be nice and comfortable, and it should be sitting nicely against your shin. The tongue of your skate should be sitting nicely against your shin. That's how you know you have sufficient knee bend. Another way to determine whether or not you have sufficient knee bend is, one, you can use the tongue. If your shin is touching the tongue of your skate, then you know you have a nice knee bend. But also, you want your knees to just reach past your laces. What do I mean by that? I mean this. As you bend your knees, the laces slowly begin to disappear. As you look straight down, if you cannot see your laces or you can barely see your laces, you know you have sufficient knee bend. Alright, as you begin your ready stance, you want your feet to be shoulder width apart, slightly angled, and then you want to bring your hands out, palm face into the ground, and then you want to lower yourself. And as you lower yourself, you want to look for the contact between your tongue and your shin, and you want to look directly down, and you want your knees to just pass your laces, like so. Papi! This is sufficient knee bend. Shoulder width apart, slightly angled. You want your hands to come out, palms facing the ground. You want to look directly down over your shoes or skates, and then you want your knees to slightly past your laces. This is sufficient knee bend. We're going to start taking little steps forward. Now, remember, everything we practice here is static. The reason why it's static is so we need to learn the form first, and then we're going to practice it on the road. So, taking little steps. This is called the duck walk. Why? Because your feet are angled out and you're moving forward. The fact that your feet are angled outward is going to provoke forward motion. Little steps, keeping your balance, and back. Practice turning, walking forward, until you're comfortable with your skates. Right. Another move to know that is very important to know, besides the duck walk, is called the side-to-side shuffle. That's something that I just made up, but it's very helpful and useful. All it is stepping side, side, like that. This allows you to go over obstacles or curbs very easily at a nice slow pace until you become more advanced. Alright, now that we've covered most of the basics for balance, we're going to start transferring this knowledge over to the road. So, first, ready position. Skates shoulder width apart, hands out, ready to fall just in case, palms facing the ground. We're looking down, we're going to have sufficient knee bend, meaning that our shins should touch the tongue of our skates, and our knees should just pass our laces. Alright, now we're going to do that move that I taught you, the side shuffle. We're going to side shuffle onto the road. Nice and smooth and nice and slow. Taking very slow steps. Alright, now that we're on the road, we're ready to go. Alright, while you're on the road now, it might seem a little scary, but it's the same thing as the grass. You've practiced enough on the grass, you should feel comfortable. All you're going to do is stay in a ready stance and move around a little. Side step. Little movements until you get more comfortable. You're able to sidestep more effectively. So now, let's stay in ready stance and do little side steps. Or duck walks. You can see I have a tendency to want to move. Alright, now that we've covered most of the basics, we got a little momentum going with the duck walks. Now, I want you guys to be able to really, how could I say, add a little bit more acceleration. And how we're going to do that is one of my favorite moves. And the reason why it's my favorite move is because it develops a lot of form. If you do this move correctly and you do it effectively, your form increases dramatically. So what we're going to do, we're going to get into ready stance. And all we're going to do is called the scooter. We're going to push out, and come back in. Push out, and come back in. We're only doing this on one leg. Think of a scooter. When you're on the scooter, you push it with one leg and the other leg is balancing. That is what skating is about. Throughout the whole time you skate, one leg is going to be balanced, and one leg is going to be acceleration, or thrust. So, ready stance, one leg push out, come back in. Push out, come back in. And then you do it on the other side. Come back in. Push out, come back in. You want to develop a balance to a point that you're able to go slow. Like that. Notice, when I increased my balance, what did I do? I got lower. Just like Bill Stopper says, stay low. Stay low, that's the key. The lower you go, the more anchored you are to the ground, the more balanced you feel, and the more comfortable you feel, the more confidence you have, and that'll increase your overall performance. Push out, come back in. Right. Now that we practice, we move statically, we're going to translate over to the roll. Remember, you're going to get ready stance, and then you want to side shuffle onto your roll safely. Alright, now that we're on the roll, we want to make sure our ready stance is nice and secure and perfect. And now we're going to begin taking duck walks. Then we're going to go from the duck walk to a glide. This is just having your feet parallel and straight. Then from the glide, we're going to go into the scooter. This is pushing out, coming back in. Alright? Remember to stay low and have a nice deep in. Palms out, face the ground, just in case you need to fall. Duck walks. Once we get our momentum going, we're going to glide, stay low, we're going to push out, come back in, push out, come back in. A little tip. If you want to get the most out of your stride, what is a stride? A stride is when you push out to the side and come back in. That's a stride. It projects you forward and gets your momentum going. If you want to get the most out of it, what you need to do is come center and go out. What do I mean by that? This is your range of power. From this point to the point that your stride ends. That is your range of power right there. So from this point to that point, that is my range of power. Now, I want to see if you notice something. As you go lower, your range of power increases. If you stay high, this is all you have. So stay low, increase your range of motion or range of power, and you'll go forward faster.